Welcome to HueFin News. Today is December 3rd, 2017, and this is our daily cryptocurrency market analysis, where we are giving you the news according to the charts through the price bars and the volume. That is how the financial markets speaks to all investors, traders. That's how they get their message across to everyone who delves into the world of investing. And that's what we've been showing you guys over the last couple of months, is the emotions of the markets, to show you what is the feel, how they feel, whether the market's going to move higher, whether it's going to move lower, or even will even trade sideways. Now, before we get started, you guys know that we are not investment advisors and we are not giving you investment advice, but what we are giving you is the interpretation of the market. We are the language interpreters of the financial markets, and we give you that to tell you and to show you where price is likely to go for some of these major cryptocurrencies. And one of the things that occurred just over the last 2-3 hours is the matter of fact that the market abruptly moved lower, and it just goes to show you, as the market reaches and trades toward these all-time highs for these cryptocurrencies, that you will get these opportunities, these times to where those individuals who has large amounts of money at their disposal will try to shake the market to scare traders or even take profits, and then the market abruptly moves lower and then it quickly recovers. And it just shows you that there is a lot of emotion going on as the market is trading right here around this range. So for those of you who are novice traders, those who are very new to investing or even trading in the cryptocurrency space, you guys need to keep aware of your particular strategy and get your exit position prepared, just in case it makes you nervous if the market moves sharply in a couple of hours or even a couple of minutes, because that is what occurred today for these cryptocurrencies, and we'll talk about that once we get to them. You guys can see that the market cap, though, still increased in the amount of US dollars. Today it is at $334.5 billion. Yesterday it was at 329. So even though the market moved sharply lower towards the end of today's trading day, obviously the market is still interested in the new investment world called cryptocurrencies. You guys can see that Bitcoin is up 0.5%, Ethereum is down 0.5%. Bitcoin Cash is up 7.49. Ripple is down. Dash is down almost 1.5%. Litecoin is also up 0.14. Bitcoin Gold is also up 7.48. IOTA up double digits, 32.52, almost trading around $2. Cardano is down almost 2%. Monero down, and Ethereum Classic is also down 1.5%. And Neo is all the way down at number 13 at 4.21%. So it just goes to show you that the market, the money is definitely moving in between these altcoins, and Neo is definitely losing this ground as one of the top cryptocurrencies in the space, but that can quickly change in the moment of a twinkling of an eye. So looking at Bitfinex website, you guys can see that Bitcoin is traded higher, up 2.75. Last trade was at 11,180. And looking at the daily price chart, you guys can see how the market for Bitcoin Cash is very wide. So obviously individuals taking profits on today, and as well individuals are buying Bitcoin at the lowest prices towards the bottom of this bar. You guys can see that it quickly recovered and was able to close right back towards the high from yesterday, which kinds of tell you that there is that resistance line right there around $11,200, and Bitcoin would definitely have to give us a push to go bar in order for them to move past that $11,200 area. So you can see as Bitcoin moved higher towards that $12,000 area that we received stockpile, and that's why the market moved lower, because there was no more orders right here around the $11,800 spot, and the market moved back down towards 11,200, and we forecasted that Bitcoin can possibly come back up to 11,400, and it did that and it broke through that with its push to go bar, but we didn't get any follow through. So that's why Bitcoin moved lower on today. So during the last 3 hours of this particular chart, you guys can see how the market shot all the way back down to $10,200. And this is one of the things that we're talking about, how quick the market can change. I mean, a lot of people probably was caught off guard, did not even see this coming. And this is the particular bar that we was analyzing on yesterday, where we told you that the volume was so light that the market was, it felt like the market was getting prepared for something. And this is exactly what we was talking about on our video yesterday. And you guys can check out, I think it was around that Neo, and when we was analyzing Neo on our video yesterday, where we mentioned that that's why the volume is giving us a lot of lightness. That's why the volume was light for yesterday, is due to this fact right here, that we knew something was going to occur in the market. And the market shot higher in the beginning of the trading day, but then obviously profit taking was occurring and the market moved lower. And it's a pretty good sign, at least for Bitcoin to trade sideways. And looking at this 3-hour price chart, it might come all the way back up to 11,600, but definitely the area of support resistance is right here at 11,200. So given the fact that the market did close lower for this particular bar, we're still expecting it to at least move lower again, and we're establishing that support line to be around 11,000 if Bitcoin is going to move lower. If it's going to move lower than that, given the fact that we had a low all the way down to $10,200, then Bitcoin can definitely make it that low again, or even 10,600. So just keep your eyes on your particular trade to see if you're comfortable with the wild swings that we're having in the market. But if anything, Bitcoin can come all the way back up to the highs from these 3-hour bars here, which was around 11,400 as well, or even 11,500. So now let's go ahead and go to Ethereum. So Ethereum ended the day higher, up 1.30. Last trade was at $462.57. Same thing with Ethereum, kind of followed the same track as Bitcoin. The market shot higher and then shot lower, and it closed right here towards the open and close from yesterday as well. So today was pretty much of a wash, but just a lot of trading going on in between is very widespread. And given the fact that we had stockpile on yesterday on light volume, stockpile today again, the market for Ethereum is still looking to trade sideways, and we're looking just for 480 to 440, or maybe even all the way down to $430 for Ethereum. The market is still, given the wild swings for today, it's expected that the market for Ethereum is going to continue to trade within that range between the high and low from today's bar. It might even be a little lower than that. It might be around 470, 475, all the way back down to, let's get a smaller time frame, all the way back down to 455 or even $450. 445 is also a probability for Ethereum to come and touch. But given the fact that the market came to 450 3 times, it's a probability again that it can come back down and touch there as well. So we already told you those price predictions for Ethereum. We will now go on to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is up 9.18. Last trade $1,517, and this is our daily price chart for Bitcoin Cash. And even with the wild swings that we had for Ethereum and Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash did not participate in that particular move, but stockpile is still shown on today's price bar, and you would expect the market to possibly move lower. It might come all the way back down to 1,400 as well, but given the fact that it did not participate with Bitcoin, tells us that the interest in higher prices for Bitcoin Cash is a lot stronger than it is for Ethereum and Bitcoin. So it's likely that Bitcoin Cash can come all the way back up to 1560 or even 1600, and ultimately might come all the way back up to 1640. But it's going to have to overcome a lot of this selling that occurred in between 1520 and 1560. If it can overcome all that selling, then it can definitely go up to 1600 or 1640. But in the event that Bitcoin Cash moves lower, it can definitely come all the way back down to 1440 as the area support. And if we get no support at 1440, then Bitcoin Cash can come all the way back down to and around 1380. Okay. So now we are going to go to Ripple. Ripple is up 0.5%. Last trade was at 24.5 cents. And the market for Ripple is pretty much the same as with Ethereum and Bitcoin. The market moved all the way up to 26 and as well as all the way down to 23 cents as well. And it closed right at the open and closed from today and yesterday. So our analysis for Ripple is going to pretty much be the same, to expect them to trade sideways just to see if the buyers are in the market or to see if the sellers are still in control. So the range for Ripple would be between 25.5 cents all the way back down to 23. Okay. So now let's go to Litecoin. Litecoin is up 1.86%. Last trade was at $100.75. And we are still getting more stockpile for Litecoin. This is the second day that we are receiving stockpile in the market, and we cannot get too many days towards the high of these prices for Litecoin to continue to move higher without the market absorbing or consuming all of the selling that is occurring in the market. So with that being said, we're going to move to a smaller time frame to show you where Litecoin runs the probability of moving lower. So given the fact that we saw all of this stockpile over these last 3-hour bars here, the market moved lower, but the buyers came back in, and we need this completion of this bar to close higher in order for Litecoin to move higher. And if it will, then it can come all the way back up to 102 or even all the way back up to $105. Okay, but if not, then Litecoin can definitely come all the way back down to 98 or even around $96. So that is our analysis for Litecoin. So now let's go to Dash. So Dash ended the day lower, down 0.23. Last trade $765.54. Put this on a daily. So even with Dash, the market did the same thing. The market moved higher early on in the trading day, and then it closed lower than it closed from yesterday, and it moved all the way down to $725. So given the fact that the market closed lower than the close from yesterday, it's telling us that overall Dash can possibly move lower again. And this is a very outlandish bar that is standing out compared to the rest of the bars that we see on this chart, right? So if this next bar does not close higher than this particular bar, then it tells us that the market is giving us more weakness than strength, and we would expect the market to move lower. And that first area is going to be 750 or even all the way back down to $730 for Dash. But if it closes higher, then you guys can expect it to come to 780 or even all the way back up to almost $800. Okay, so that's going to be our analysis for Dash. It's at least expect them to trade sideways, and we told you those price areas for Dash. So now let's go to Neo. So Neo is up 4.61%. Last trade was at $36.90. And we told you yesterday that we needed to see a push to go bar for Dash in order for them to move higher. And it moved all the way up to $40 on today. But then towards the ending of today's trading, the market got hit with stockpile, and that's why the bar closed lower off of the highs of today. But given the fact that the bar still closed above the close from yesterday, it's telling us that the market for NEO is still giving us more precursors of strength than weakness, and that we will be expecting them to at least move back up to $38 in the short term. So now moving it to a smaller time frame, you guys can see if NEO is going to move lower, that $34 is the next area to find support, and NEO can touch here and then move higher. If this bar that is currently forming does not close higher, expect NEO to come to at least $34 or to the low of this completed bar, which is $35. So that's our analysis if NEO moves lower. And if we get more of this widespread bar, then NEO can definitely come all the way back down to $32 or even $30. And overall, the market for NEO is giving us precursors of weakness at the moment, so expect that to occur. But if the buyers or the market participants can overcome all the selling that is currently on this chart, then NEO can definitely move back up to $40, if not $38. So now we're going to go ahead and look at Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic is down 0.12, 0.11. Last trade was at $28.91. And the market overall for all these altcoins, including Bitcoin, is kind of like a wash, to where the market was taking profits as well as buying these cryptocurrencies, because the market opened and closed right here towards the close from yesterday, which is telling us that the market still has business to do around that price area. And that's what we're expecting for a majority of these cryptocurrencies on tomorrow, is just sideways trading action. And it goes the same way for Ethereum Classic. And I'm gonna move to a smaller time frame to give you that price range for Ethereum Classic. So $31 or even $30 is in the cards for Ethereum Classic if they move higher, and $28 and $27 is if Ethereum Classic moves lower. Okay, and it's all dependent on how much volume we are going to get on tomorrow. If we get strong volume, then that can possibly move the market back up to 30 or even 31 if the buyers are in control. But as we see on this particular chart, the buyers are not in control for Ethereum Classic at this time, so it's more likely that they will go to $28 or even $27 first. Okay, so now the last one is going to be Monero. So Monero is down 4.11%. Last trade $195.77. So Monero did move higher towards the high of the 29th price bar. We told you guys that on our video, and the market shot substantially lower on today towards the low of yesterday's bar, but it was able to close off of the lows. So this is kind of resemblance of a consumption type bar, which is a probable precursor of strength, but we just need confirmation on this particular bar that is forming. If the bar closes lower, then the sellers are in control for Monero, and we're going to move it to a smaller time frame to show you how low can Monero move. So Monero can definitely come back to find support at $192 initially, and then if it cannot find support at $192, then it will come back down to and around $186. But the market for Monero is definitely giving us precursors of weakness at this time, so that's why we would forecast them to move lower, and the first area is going to be $192, and then the next area is going to be around $188. Okay, you guys can see that over the last 3 hour bars, the volume has been increasing as Monero has been moving lower. So that's why the market is also giving us more precursors of weakness in the short term, and our analysis is for Monero to move lower, at least to those price areas that we mentioned. Now if we get more volume moving lower, then it could come all the way back down to 184 to find support. So overall, today was just a day that you just needed to watch your particular trade. If you're a short or a day trader, today the market really has shaken you up just a little bit to see how fast the market can move. And for the new traders, the new investors, those who are new to this channel, you guys got to be prepared for days like this, especially in the cryptocurrency sphere, to where there's no regulation to kind of mimic or what's allowed or not allowed in the cryptocurrency space. And you will get these moves quite often on a daily basis. So you really got to have tough skin to see your trade go in the wrong direction, and just kind of got to hold on to the market change and moves the other direction. But that's why you guys need to keep it tuned in to this particular channel, because we told you around when we did our Neo analysis that the market was getting prepared for something, because the volume was just too light on yesterday. And today kind of told you that the market was getting prepped for a move, whether it was higher or lower. And today it just shows you that it was going to be lower. And at least for the time being, the market did recover, but it did not recover to the point to where the cryptocurrency space is out of the woods. At least the best that's going to occur tomorrow, as we see it right now, is the market's just going to trade sideways. So that's all we have for today. Appreciate you guys watching. New subscribers, hey, you guys got a comment, leave it there in the comment section as well. Use the timestamps if you guys are running short of time. That's why we place it there in the description of these videos, to save you guys some time, because we know that the market moves quick, and I know you guys just want to move on to bigger and better things if it's not making a profit on these trades. But that's all we have for today, guys. Stay profitable, and I will talk to you all later.